goals don't align, then we've got to stop.
So I had Stephanie had told me that you were dating this guy, and I had told her, I said, without knowing your background of some of the things that happened in your past, right? And there's something that you said to me that I actually said to her without knowing your background, just from seeing actions.
Sure.
Right? So I said, it seems to me that you get into relationships and you put people on pedestals and then get disappointed that they don't meet these pedestals.
Correct.
So, and I told her, I said, I hope she makes the process happen organically.
Organic, yes.
But what made this so interesting for me is that has been a pattern for you. So have you broken that pattern with this man?
I feel like I have.
Okay. The biggest part of it, she said it, they were getting to know each other as nothing but friends or just co-workers for a year. So that's,
just side-eyeing each other.
That's the organic part of it right there. That's
so
like
and that's why I do feel I will find out. I feel like the process has been broken because this feels different. Not just with him, but with me. I feel different. I am calmer. I am not sitting there like all of a sudden it's just, oh my God, I love him so much. I love him so much. This is amazing. This is amazing. We're the best together. We're a power couple and blah, 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 blah. And, all these expectations and all these fantasies, all these situations that I create in my head that I become in love with what I could be with that person. The potential with that person.
A big word. That's a big word in relationships.
That is.
Y'all women.
It's a killer word.
It is
a
relation word.
Yes. Killer word.
Hey, look, man. Women sometimes fall in love with the goddamn potential.
And that's
we all do.
And not looking at the person that's actually in front of you.
And it's the killer of relationships, the murderer.
You got the potential to be a Bugatti. You a Yugo right now.
Right. It's like what is it? The Acura Legend engine is what grew up to be the NSX. But we're still in an Acura.
You're still in an Acura. Matter of fact, you're just in a Nissan Sentra. You just didn't know it.
So I think that Megan experienced, like when she was ready to get back on the horse of dating, she had really not dated for 5 years. Like there were a couple situations, but they were situationships. They weren't anything serious.
I got what I needed from you. You can move on. Thank you.
I love that situation.
It was something to waste your time for.
Literally.
Yeah, I was bored.
Yeah, basically.
Mr. Right now.
Yeah.
Not Mr. Right.
No. Yeah. And they were brief, you know what I mean? Like very, very brief.
4 months.
Yeah.
Brief.
Like because at that point she's like, you know what? I really value my time and you're impeding on my time and I don't like it.
Yeah.
She literally broke up with somebody because her plants started dying. She was like, I'm not even paying attention to my plants anymore.
You got to go.
You have to go. Mm-hmm. It happened.
So that test drive ended pretty fast.
It happened. But when she was ready to, she was like, okay, I think I've healed some. I'm ready to start dating again. And
it was like the Grinch. I'm feeling.
The
Grinch. Like I'm feeling.
So her first experience out of the gate, she came in contact with someone who was not good for her spirit and not good for her energy.
Not necessarily a bad person.
Not a bad person.
Just not for you.
Was not right for her.
Did you get the bad read or did you get the bad read?
Immediately. I got it immediately.
And once again, I made this man
on a pedestal
chase me. Well, but also 8 months before I saw him on a date.
Wow.
When I tell you my swerve game was strong, it was
You might have the.
Are we talking about?
She got the biggest dick energy in the room.
Are we talking about? I'm a king. I need my queen.
Yes. Yes.
Yo, if any man gotta tell you that he's a king, he ain't a king.
No, that he's an alpha.
A lion doesn't need to tell anybody it's a lion.
Yeah, it just roars and you know.
It walks in the room and you go, oh shit, that's a lion.
Right.
As a Leo, I know.
Oh, I love you.
So what had ended up happening was that she comes in contact with this energy and her energy immediately went it was
haywire.
drastic. she all of a sudden was extremely aggressive and like when
anxiety ridden.
When I say that her energy is soft now, like that's why she took offense to it, because she was like, "What do you mean I'm soft?" And I'm like, "No. Like soft as in like you are comfortable.
Calm.
Like you're very comfortable, you're very calm." Because this other experience, her first dating experience, like her real dating experience outside of those 5 years, her energy was so harsh and hard.
I ain't gonna lie, man. When you were going through, and she gives me, snippets of
You
it,
get
right?
you get the cliff notes.
Yeah, I get the cliff notes, right?
He gets the highlights.
And then there was a point.
Sports Center.
There was a point that I told her, I said, I'm gonna come to the apartment. I'm gonna shake fucking Megan and tell her, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
because even I didn't know. No
like,
one understood.
dude,
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Dude is, come on, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like really, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, the mere fact that I never slept a wink next to that man. Anytime we had a spin in the night situation,
I got my spin in the night bag.
I did, and it went home with me at 3:00 in the morning every time.
I gotta go.
I cannot. My
With your
physical mind,
You know what?
would not turn
right there
off
for
around
a woman
him.
is key.
I don't
You
feel
cannot-
safe.
If you cannot,
You do not make
sleep,
me feel safe, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, don't point at me.
And
No, but I'm saying no.
messing
But I'm
with
sorry.
that.
And not the
Everybody
first
feels safe.
time. Not the first time. The first time I can understand. But if it's been like a couple weeks or whatever, and you just still don't feel comfortable,
6 months in, and
no,
I still
you got
couldn't
to go.
lay down. Yeah.
It's after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If you didn't feel safe, it was time to roll.
So the
back
writing
to-
was on the wall.
Yeah.
So back to what the question that Patricia had asked is, in this current situation and in where you are right now, are you in this relationship being emotionally unavailable?
So I don't feel like I am being emotionally unavailable. And here's why. It's not that I'm teeming and I'm boiling over with all of this passion and this aggressive passion. What it is I'm far more calm. I just told this man, and I've told him several times since, you are a safe place. You feel like a safe place.
Right.
I can be me.
around you.
I can be feminine. I am a very masculine woman. I'm a very masculine woman. What have we been saying this whole time?
What does that mean?
My dick is the biggest one in the room. Like I'm very masculine. Fuck it, I'll do it myself.
No, you know what?
I
though?
hold all of this down. Nobody I'm the hustler. That's that
Look for it.
masculine.
Look for it.
What look?
I know you can just see your face right there. You're like, you
But yeah, I find that interesting because
But so when I'm feminine is
that's when you feel.
I can go back to him, and I had a bad shift last week in the full moon, witches, werewolves, and bartenders
Warlocks.
always know when there's a full moon.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Okay.
so I know there's a lot of women that have
Women
that
too.
masculine energy, and I'm sorry, I'll get back to you in a second.
Okay,
but I know that there's a lot of women, and there's I want to explain and then kind of get into that just a hot second because there's a lot of masculine energy in today's women now.
Ooh.
And how does that play itself out in a relationship? I am not because Stephanie has a lot of masculine energy, but she knows she don't bring that shit to me because I don't play that shit.
But
right?
Pat, do you think that
So but what is it? Well, I mean,
Okay,
I just,
so
what is it?
perfect example is I have to be this big bad woman to the world. That's my mode. We just talked about the path that I've walked, and that's how I have to walk through life. Here's the thing. That bad full moon weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was bad. I was tail spinning emotionally. I was tail spinning with my management, and he came up to me and I'm being aggressive, and I'm holding my own down through this whole shift. And he comes up to me, and it finally came to the moment where all I had to do was count my till. He was going to shut the bar down, and all I had to do was count my till and leave. But I was hanging around. And he came up to me and he got right in my ear, and he did not announce it to the room. There were other people in that room. Nobody knows that this man spoke to me. He got right in my ear. He says, "Go home right now, take a shower, and be at my place."
That's sexy. Sorry, go ahead.
It was hot. But at the same time, I listened. I listened and I respected it, and I didn't sit there and go, "Who the fuck do you think you're talking to?" I'm sorry.
You
What
allowed-
do what now? I submitted. I submitted, and I wanted to. I wanted to, and that's what I mean, is that this man gives me a safe place to be feminine.
Right. You can be your strong self, but
I
you
can
can
be
also,
he knows I'm strong. That's a given. He knows that.
but
That's part
he
of
lets
me
you
that
show the soft, squishy sides.
right. I had somebody, a Marine from my past, tell me one time,
there's your
you
problem.
need some. Yeah, it was. You need somebody who knows when to yoke your chain, but
wow.
also when to give it slack.
Wow.
Do you think I'm masculine, Haran?
Tay, you didn't know this?
Energy wise, obviously,
bit, yeah.
obviously not
Honey.
physically.
Yeah.
Tay,
I can tell you
masculine.
you are.
I think. Well, for some reason, since we're doing
It's
Because
confidence.
I'm bossy.
these gender confusing.
No,
these
you're not.
gender-
You show leadership
in this,
skills.
In this
Stop
gender
it.
confusing age, whatever you want to say it, I think we're using the wrong terms. It's not masculine and feminine. It's strong or not or submissive energy. You know, I think that should be more. Could be more the terms, right?
No, I mean,
I think we have like a balance, right?
Yeah,
She's high energy, and I'm just chill. You know, it's like a.
I'm
chill.
kinda
And you're like not
dominant.
chill, yeah. I'm
You're
chill.
like- you're like
she's
not chill.
I think what people need. I think we talked about this at car company. People need to match their quirks. It ain't so much. It is a lot. I'm good with finances. I'm not. I'm good with it. You bring 100% of that. I bring 95% of it. It's when you really get into that. When 5, 6 months down the road, a year, 2, 3 years down the road, 5, 10 years down the road, those funny little things that you do that drive everybody to want to kick a hole in your chest. Can we work together on them? Can we be okay with each other? And those.
Well, I think that those are the things that turn into the very exact things that you miss when they're gone.
Damn right. They
Hey,
are.
yo, you want to
So
hear
do
something?
you really want to fix them?
You want to hear something interesting? All 4 of you females that are sitting on this panel right now, y'all bring a lot of masculine energy.
That's what I said. They all do.
But can I
It's
say
confidence.
this? Well, I think that, and I'll speak for myself. I won't speak for them. I'll speak for myself. I think that my masculine energy is, I have to have it. I don't have a choice.
Same.
And so
Same. Survival
and
mode for
it's
you, too.
It's absolutely survival mode for my life. And most of the time I don't have the opportunity to have my feminine energy, exposed or be out. You know what I mean? I always have to be put in a mask. I mean, I can give you 1,000 reasons why I have to have the masculine energy.
Sure.
I can't give you very many reasons for me to have the feminine energy. I'm a single mother. You know what I mean? So I had to work. I had to, just like you, I had to hustle. I went back to school later in life. So I had to hustle with that. I've always had to be the breadwinner. I'm the parent. I always had to have the job. I always had to do this, and this. I didn't have time to rely on anybody else. I was it. So because I was it, I've always had to be the masculine person. I had to make sure that nobody was going to mess with my daughter. So I had to be the dad in the situation. You know what I mean? So you're not going to mess with my kid. You're going to mess with me. That's all right. We're going toe to toe because I'm it. There is nobody else. So when you are the only person, a lot of people, whether it's men or women, will try to intimidate you with their masculinity, whether they're male or female. So you have to always come out. I always have to come out hard. And a lot of people, especially like in relationships, are like, you're so hardcore. I'm actually I'm actually a teddy bear.
But you see how that energy, if it is
Well, let me
portrayed.
finish.
Sorry, go ahead.
Let me finish though. But just like Megan just said, when she said it, it just totally resonated with me. With the right person, I will automatically submit and be a completely different person.
But
And
are you
so
getting?
I-
Why do you have to be a different person?
But
No,
are we getting-
not a different person. Not a different person.
Different
but
energy.
Different energy. I will. My feminine energy will come out. I should say it that way. Let me correct myself. My feminine energy will automatically come out, and I can't control it. And because I'm so used to being masculine, it almost irritates my soul because I'm not used to that feminine side of myself. I mean, I'm even my masculine energy at home with my family because I have to always have it on. And I don't get to have my feminine energy, and I'm not even comfortable in it.
So that's what I'm saying is that, when you're talking about relationships and being with another person, right? If your masculine energy is your default setting, that default setting when you're going to be with somebody else, it is the front and center that happens. So how does a guy then say, man, I got to look past the masculine energy because
The right man,
But
the
the-
right
but
man.
What does
That's
that
what
mean,
drew
though?
him in. That's what drew him in.
Yes.
Exactly.
Hold on. Wait a second.
That's what drew
I
him
was just
in.
about. I've been told, and you've heard this. I've been told, damn, you a cocky MF. No, I'm not cocky. I'm very confident about my shit. And to beat somebody who matches that confidence back, when I don't, I'll say for people, my buddies, a lot of my buddies are like that, like me. When I feel like I don't have to be the center of the attention or the main, whatever you want to call it, somebody can match that, and I can just kind of like, let me step back and watch this show. You know, that's,
Yeah.
I think it goes back to like what you. Okay, so like I didn't have to be quote masculine. I don't have any children. I never wanted any children. I don't have to be strong for anyone else. I was just raised to be assertive but feminine at the same time.
in your Melania voice.
Yes, say it right.
Because Eastern European women, we can be very beautiful at the same time, very sexy at the same time, and I can still tell you what to do. You know what I'm saying? You can run in your high heels.
Say that shit. Say that shit.
But no, seriously,
Love
like
it.
I love it.
So for me, it
I need
wasn't
it.
like, I have to take care of everyone and like, I have to do this or that. I think just some people are just more assertive. Like you're going to be the little girl on the playground who's like, you're going to do this and you're going to do that. And we're playing this game because I said so. Right?
Did you
And
really just say that? Do you not know that about yourself? I'm asking a serious question. You said I don't have to take care of everybody. You literally look out for everybody in your. Do you not know that?
No, I do that. I do that naturally. I'm like very much a
but it's-
protector of my friend circle, but it's not because out of a necessity of like being a single
But
mom.
you're not bossy. You literally.
I'm just
look-
right. I'm just gonna make it happen the best way possible,
yeah.
so people would realize that they'd be
I-
happier. No.
I'm just I'm
But
completely.
what I'm saying is, when it comes to the relationship part, I think it's like, it's just like how women often are, I think, attracted to like a guy with swagger. There's like a female swagger that is that more bossiness that I think some guys really like, because they're like, I don't have to. Some guys
Love
like to
that
take
shit.
care of a girl, right? Like they want that submissive girl. Like, oh, she's gonna be reliant on me a little bit. It's not that twisted. I don't want to make it sound like that, but they kind of. Damsel in distress, right? We see it all the
Sure,
time.
but there are men who want and
then men who
I'm not
want
going to
the-
use the word weak. We will use the word strong, but we're not going to
Softer,
use the
softer.
soft, right? There's men that want that type of woman.
Yeah, and then
But
there's men who want who are
who
cool
see
and
this
into-
woman cussing out somebody for
Yeah, and they're
not
like,
for
"That's
not
my
paying
bad
their tab,"
bitch.
and it's just like,
Yeah, but you know what they like about it though? They like what I think what turns them on is she can cuss him out right here, but when she gets home,
yes,
she don't talk to me like that. That's what turns me on is I can make her act this way, but you get that and I get this.
our first hike, he asked me outright directly. He said, Megan, you said I check a lot of boxes for you. What are they? Okay, so I listed the
Didn't I
boxes
just-
that he
You
said.
guys had like a
Wait,
job
wait,
interview
so what
going.
did I-
We sure did.
What did I say? Didn't I say when the first month or so, a dude is going to ask you the question? you gotta
And
be
I
willing-
couldn't have agreed more with you in that moment earlier in
you're
the
not
conversation.
listening-
I couldn't pay attention.
Stephanie.
They're going to, yeah.
You asked a question.
Yes.
So
Uh-oh.
you said that, as a man, how are you supposed to, decipher between like, where the masculinity ends and, the femininity? Answer it.
Ooh.
Ask yourself that question.
Ooh, damn.
With
I'm
me. Ask
Oh, she just
yourself
put
that question with me.
it's different between you and I because we have so much history.
However,
Take her out of the equation.
I am absolutely in my masculine energy 90% of the time. There's a small percentage and only one person that I will allow myself to be feminine with. Even through other relationships, that is the only person that I have ever submitted to.
Didn't you always
that I
say-
have ever followed? That I have ever followed. That I have ever allowed to be my compass. In other relationships, when I have been, just epically lost at sea. Like can't see the moonlight
In
or
a
the
new
sun.
moon.
Right, in
Bermuda
a new moon, like of complete darkness and like no sun on the horizon. Patrick has always been my compass because he represented a safe space. I
that's
knew
it.
I could trust him to make decisions for me that were never ever going to fail me.
Right.
They were always going to steer me in the right direction. And it allowed me to be softer. It allowed me to be feminine. It allowed me to be submissive,
Respectfully.
respectfully. It allowed me
Can
to
I-
be
can I-
submissive.
can I ask you a question?
Because and we're willing to be submissive respectfully because we trust that man to
be
not take advantage
Yeah.
of our submission.
So is it more? And I'm sorry, I'll get right back to you. So is it more of a situation that is it more of a trust situation?
Yes.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
I can't stand when people, you hear a lot of times.
Is it? I'm sorry.
Please.
Trust of the. You won't hurt my feelings, or you have my best interest.
I'm
at
not
heart?
You
going to
have
take
my best
advantage.
interests at heart.
I'm gonna keep you.
Yeah.
As I said, I was going to say, I can't stand that when people say, "Oh, you hear." Well, it's more used in politics. Oh, safe zone, safe zone. Everybody needs a fucking safe space to operate in.
And that safe space can be a person.
For a dude who's like, it's like I was just talking about for myself, like watching. If I could sit back and watch that show, I feel that's my safe space. I don't feel like I always have to be on.
I get it. And I'm gonna jump on. Let you speak. And I think when we talk, sometimes these podcasts just let me. I have an epiphany.
Oh, Pat, you always have a clarifying moment.
Clarifying moment. So we were talking last night after.
We know.
JoJo's.
After like 4 drinks, and we're pretty lit, right? So we were talking, and then I was like, no, actually, it's before we went on the date. She was like, look, I need you today to be my boyfriend, not my friend.
Oh, that's
Because
cute.
you know why? Because she's the only person. I ain't gonna lie. There's
Yeah,
only
hold on.
3 people that get a side of me that people like none of y'all know, and there's only 3 people that I give this side of me.
Right.
My brother that died,
Right.
my mom,
Right.
and her.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And that side of me is I am a fucking goofball.
Clown.
I
am
hear
a-
about it all the time.
I'm a fucking clown 24/7.
Right.
And she wanted to have a date without me doing fart noises, without me doing
He likes to fake cum on everything. So he's like,
So she's like, look, can we go on this date? She's like, can we go on this date without you acting a fool? Like, I need
here's
you
the
to be.
scenario. You guys need to understand. My hand is I'm injured, right? I've got this broken finger, and he wanted to hold my hand, so he grabs these 2 fingers, and as soon as he did, he immediately started going. And I just stopped, and I was like, "We're going on a date.
Pat, we know this.
Can you not do that?" And he was like, "I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
sorry."
we know
He was like,
nobody
"I'm
sees
gonna
that
start
shit.
being serious in the Uber." He was like, "As soon as the Uber gets here, I'm gonna be
Nobody.
serious."
And you're right.
So-
None of us see that shit.
So that's what I said.
Never see that shit.
This is why I say about.
This is all new to
that-
me,
that-
man.
that-
I want to see that, Pat.
that I understand now where you guys are coming from with the safe space situation.
you feel
Because
safe
That's
with
what
her
it
to
is.
show your ass.
That's what it is.
You feel safe with her to
That's
show your
exactly
ass.
what it
There's
is.
only 3
Real.
people. There's only 3 people. I'm goofy as hell with my
And
mom.
when you got that few, when you have that few safe spaces, like when I say compared to the enormity of your life, you value and you fucking treasure this shit.
like literally, like none of my boys. I'd
Pat, I'll let you pull my fingers and fake cum. It's okay.
Nobody has ever seen that side. That's because I'm usually serious, stoic, fucking like
We
I'm
know,
a
Dad.
leader.
Grandpa.
We
I'm
know,
a
Dad.
leader, you know what I mean?
We know, Dad. We know.
That's my default setting. But when
But see, there you go. Then
You know what's funny, though?
Just think about what
And
you
that
just
you
asked
just
me.
said,
that was
that
my default
our
setting.
our
That's your
masculine
default
energy
setting,
is our default.
But there's somebody.
Patrick needs to lean into
I know
his
we're not talking
femininity.
about your mom and we're not talking about your family. There's somebody that your default setting doesn't default to.
That's what I'm saying.
And so that's what I was explaining to you is that when the right person comes along, that default setting that I have will go away. Like there are times that I've dated people and I'm like, what am I doing? This is not me because I'm hard. You know what I mean? I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah, I get it now. I get
Yeah.
it.
When those
Oh, let me ask my question though,
please.
Stephanie, please.
Yes.
So when you were just talking about the whole moon and the sea and the stars and Pat being the compass, you said that let me see if I can. I'm going to see if I say it. I'm going to say it to you and make sure I said it right. You said that you always could trust his judgment or
Guidance.
guidance and things.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, if by chance, and I don't know if this has ever happened or not, but I'm gonna ask you. We can ask it in a possible way. If it ever happens, if it was something that information or resolution or whatever that didn't come out the way that either one of you had anticipated, you would still trust him though, right? Because you know that even though it didn't come out the way that you planned it, you trust him enough that know that he did it in your best interest.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
The question?
So there was something that somebody else said too, like, I trust that he's never going to hurt my feelings. No.
Yeah, I know that.
I actually trust in the fact that he is going to hurt my feelings for my best interest.
I know that. You know I know.
I know that. I know that when he said, and he'll tell me, he's like, look, man, I'm about to say something that's going to hurt your feelings, but you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Like you'll be all right. Like, but you need to hear this. And in 29 years, do you know how many times he's hurt my feelings?
About 475,000 times.
473. 473 as of last night.
You know I get those phone calls too.
Was it
You know.
hurting you?
But after he hurts her feelings, he just fakes comes on.
Everything's all
Cover
good.
this shit up. Cover this shit up.
I'm sorry, baby. Here you go.
Fart noise. Fart
Pull my
noise.
finger.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm trying to word this the right way because everybody needs that person in their lives or needs those people in their lives. That, I'm gonna give it to you straight, no chaser. You need this shit right
Yeah.
in your, you know. Is he hurting your feelings, or is he telling you something you need to hear? Therefore, you're hurting your own
Oh,
feelings.
There it
Absolutely.
is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause-
I walk
yeah.
around and hurt my own
'Cause
feelings on
there's-
a daily basis.
There's a
Every day.
there's a small number of people that you could say what him being one, you know. Pat's kind of growing me on now. I might let his black ass hit me. But you ain't gonna come on me. But anyways,
I'm good.
that will say what the hell I need to hear, and I'm not gonna take it like the random associate. Yeah, you might be telling me what I need to hear, but you better be prepared to catch the 1-2 that might be coming towards your throat.
Right.
Because I'm looking at him, I know that he's saying it with nothing but pure love in his heart. and
Exactly.
you know, that random person, you're not saying it out of
Malice.
out of Lord. Yeah, there's some,
Yes.
you know, that's that whole saying, like, there's people in your life that they'll say something, you're a piece of shit. Oh, that joke, you're not joking.
Yeah.
You just said it and added the ha ha ha.
Yeah. Yeah.
To make it think
Because you
it
thought
sound funny.
right, because you
Little
thought I was gonna
deflector.
throat punch your ass, but it's coming. What'd you say right there?
It's a deflector.
Yeah.
I remember having a conversation with Megan. This was just a couple months ago, and it was when she was transitioning from like the situation that was not really great for her.
The situation.
I also want to go back to that and caveat that by saying that situation taught her the first guy that she dated after her 5-year gap taught her exactly what she did not want. And
Well,
it was
and it showed
profound.
me glimpses of what I once had.
Yes.
And it was like, this looks familiar, this sounds familiar, this smells familiar, and I don't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
That was the new thought.
Right.
Was I can
You know what?
walk away. I don't have to fuck with this.
I was going to ask you this. And actually, maybe everybody can answer this. Do you feel like part of your being able to get out of your emotional unavailability is that you can look at this new relationship that you've started as part of it being able to say, you know what, I'm enjoying this and I'm enjoying it, but if I can walk away and still feel good about myself, that I didn't hurt him and
Nailed it.
okay.
Nailed it. I literally had this thought to myself as recently as last night.
I'm living in your head, kid.
You really are. You're reading it like a fucking book right now. No, I literally had that. I had this conversation with myself because part of the process of the last 5 years has been able to identify which voice in my head is my ego.
It's me.
You were literally in my head. But being able to identify, okay, that's ego, and you can sit down and shut the fuck up right now. You're not needed. And then what's
Man.
logic and what's heart? Because and realizing, and I did say this to myself, that if this doesn't work out, I love this right now and I love where this is going and where it could go.
Right.
But if this doesn't work out,
I'm gonna be okay.
Not only no, but that's the thing. That's the thing. It's different. It was a totally different thought. Not only am I going to be okay, like
I'm gonna thrive. I'm gonna stand there.
I will still have my success. I will still reach my goals. My goals might look a little different when I'm with somebody versus when I'm not, but I am still going to have what I want, whether this works out or not.
And did you consider this kind of what I was talking about earlier? Like I said, when you built up those walls, it wasn't so much to keep everybody out.
Yes.
Did you also consider at the end of that saying, if this don't work out, because a lot of people don't realize.
I don't necessarily have to close the moat.
There you go. And I'm not.
I can still leave the moat open.
If we leave this person, and they feel hurt, I'm gonna be okay.
The kingdom can still remain open. Yes.
So we're gonna
You still have visitors.
We're gonna pull the alligators out.
So we're gonna
Princes from faraway lands.
come very close to closing this podcast out. But the way I try to close every podcast out when we have guests is that at Real Energy Podcast, we try to serve purpose, right? Your story from where you were to where you are, that is a phenomenal journey, right?
Thank
So
you.
what
Absolutely.
the purpose that I would like you to tell our listeners, just however you'd like to tell it, from where you were back in high school to where you are, give some type of guiding light for our listeners, because I guarantee you there's somebody going through that shit right now.
Show us your aurora borealis, your
Oh.
northern lights.
Well, you are going to reach a point where you don't hate yourself. You hate your past self. If my 22-year-old ass walked through this door right now, I'm telling you right now, I'd beat the brakes off of her. I'd beat the snot out of her, and then I'd pick her up, and I'd help her clean her face.
You could do better.
The guiding light and I don't want to be cliche. But there, a regular of mine, Richard, British Richard, he gave me something. He printed out a bunch of little quotes that helped get him through the day, and he laminated it and he brought it into me. And it's on a sticky note. It's taped on my bathroom mirror. My daughter reads it every morning now too. But the one phrase that my mind, when I'm curling my hair and I'm doing my makeup and I'm looking at this piece of paper taped on my mirror, the one line that my eye goes to first: work harder than you did the day before. And not every day you're not every day going to be able to make progress. In fact, sometimes you're going to slip backwards. So you wake up the next day and you work harder than that. It doesn't necessarily mean work yourself into the ground. It means yesterday was a failure, tomorrow will not be.
And if it is, we still got the next day.
It won't. And exactly. And through this whole process from then to now, Patrick, do you know the amount of times I took 5 steps forward and 6 back? Work harder than you did the day before. And it doesn't mean go work 10 hours at work instead of 8. You all know what that means.
Right.
Work harder than you did the day before. And literally, you will be surprised. Get out of your own way.
Oh my God,
That's Patrick's favorite saying.
That's one of my favorite sayings.
Get out of your own way.
Get out of your. Hey, I told Mr. Brown Man over there,
Black
Ron,
ass.
I'm telling you what.
I told him get out your own way.
Come on, darkness. Come on with it, darkness.
Because that's part
get out of your
that's
own
part
way.
of the learning process of all of this is realizing that you're the asshole who's been standing. That asshole that's been standing in your way, it's you.
It's me. I'm the
Yeah,
asshole.
get out your way. It's so interesting, and we're gonna close this podcast out. But it's interesting
knew it
that you
was
said
coming.
that you did. What?
She was getting ready to sing.
Me. I'm the problem. It's me. it's a Taylor Swift.
I did.
riddle.
I literally.
It's from the song Antihero. Listen to it.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
I don't. I don't listen to Taylor Swift. Sorry, I'm. My
I don't
bad.
either, but the
Tay-
radio
Tay-
shoves
Tay-
are down my throat
yeah,
all the
yeah.
time.
But it is so interesting. Haran and I, we're part of this investment chat group, and I posted one of my charts the other day, about my year to date progress on my personal account, right? And it literally looks like this, just a choppy up and down. But you know what? It keeps going up.
Up's a little bit, always a little bit
Always
higher.
a little bit higher.
Right.
Yes.
So you're in life is such an analogy that you said, is that you're gonna have your ups
and downs.
You're gonna have your downs,
Don't-
and sometimes your downs are gonna be really,
Way
really, really
down.
down.
But you can't stay there.
Yeah.
Don't sit
Don't
there
wallow
and
in
get
it.
comfortable.
So a lot of times,
Go back up.
So a lot of times, people focus in on, this shitty part of life that's not really happening to them and where they are in life. And I've had to take many steps back in my life, many a times. But the future's looking bright for me. And what I would say to all of our listeners, and this is, this was an amazing, and we thank Megan for sharing. And,
Thank you
sharing
guys for
with us.
having me. This was
Thank
fun.
you.
Thanks for being on.
I never
Because-
realized
We're always
trauma
welcome
would get
people
me
back.
here.
We welcome.
We say that all
Because
the
if there's
time.
anything, and we can serve any purpose for our listeners, is understand that where you are in life doesn't represent where
No.
you're going to end up.
Where you're
being.
going to be.
Okay, so whatever you're going through, there is somebody in your life that cares enough for you to be able to give you some type of guide in life. Be open to advice. Don't slip in your own shit and think that's where you're gonna live.
Right.
There is somebody in your life that is doing much better from you. Stick with them, not the people that are wanting to drag you down. Okay. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Real Energy Podcast. Remember to check out our YouTube channel where we have full videos of all of our episodes. Check out our podcast episodes on all of your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get it. Peace.
Get in that YouTube channel.